What's good, Lucky Lefty Podcast? Happy Tuesday to everyone. The Onora boys are in the building. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And it's that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure that you drink.
Responsibly.
You got to drink responsibly. It's going to be a fantastic show. Leaps and bounds at Notre Dame. We're going to talk about how Notre Dame physically and mentally takes the next step to be a national championship contender. Then we're going to ask the can eyes or the can'ts or the can eyes for Notre Dame in 2023. I can't wait to see Malik's responses to these.
That's right.
Right, because he's already given us some of the most comical statements in the last two shows. And we're going to continue that trend, man. We thank you guys so much for how you support us. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CFB Nation, in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. All of our great content. As a matter of fact, our boy John Garcia Jr. State of Recruiting over there with us. He's going to join us either Thursday or Friday, depending on how his schedule shakes out, right around noon Eastern. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know. We spin it different. Before we get into everything today, Left, let me ask you a question. Because you predate Matt Bayless.
Yes.
What was it like before Matt Bayless as far as off-season weight training? And then before you even get into that, were you a go-home type of guy, like once the bowl game was over? Because I saw a lot of guys go home. They had about 2 weeks, a little bit under 2 weeks to spend with their family. Some guys were still training while they're at, their vicinity of their homes. And I just wonder how many people just choose to stay on campus. Like, man, no, I'm staying here, working out, using the facilities. Is it usually the younger guys, the freshmen, that are trying to go back home and see family, and the veterans stick around? Is that how it usually goes?
Man, I think everybody kind of, Notre Dame's interesting because everybody's from everywhere, as opposed to like Florida, where 90% of the students are from Florida. They just go back home or whatever. Or they're like halfway commuting. Like some weekends they'll be gone and back home all weekend, But at Notre Dame, everybody's trying to book flights. Like for instance, Nico, anytime he had a break, Nico would just hop on the jet and just go back to Vegas. Same day. Like, no booking. Just make a call, get on and out of here. Some guys stick around for a couple of days because they got to take a bus or a flight or do something.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I like to use my time to go train. And then some guys do other things. So I don't know. It's all in the air when it comes to Notre Dame because when I know the coaches, they disappear once football breaks.
Yeah. The Notre Dame coaches now were out on the road recruiting, going to various schools, building up the database for the class of 2024, giving out offers. 2025, same thing. That's their focus. So now we go to, you have the freshmen coming in, the early enrollees, and then you have the returning players. They put out a video yesterday of them working out. You saw Tyler Buckner working out. You saw Sam Hartman. I think he was doing some deadlifts. The impact of Matt Bayless on this program, in your opinion, how impactful was it from your POV based upon, what you guys did or didn't have before Matt Bayless showed up?
I think being there before Matt Bayless got to show me kind of the end of what worked at a time for our team. And then it became a part where we were transitioning from a 3-tier type team to a 2-tier. So the messaging and the things that we were doing, we were graduating from, especially the class above me and then my class. we were graduating from that 2012 model of winning football games to a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more explosive type of athletes, where we went from a Eshak and Shimbo to a Ade. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Totally different type of players during that time. So I think where Bayless came in is he came in with the uh, updated version. You know how your iPhone gets the hit you with the restart so you can get the new version of the iOS.
Just
Well, we
did it
got
last
the
night. Just did it last night.
well, we got the iOS version of Notre Dame's strength program with Matt Bayless, and it revived a team that needed some reviving. I think those younger guys, we were getting those different type of athletes like a Chase Claypool, a Equinemius, a Miles Boykin, where we can't just do the same power lifts that were working before. So what ended up changing with Matt Bayless, he brought a fresh attitude. He was a lot more physical because we needed that. And he was doing a lot of different dynamic type of workouts that, it really shocked the team and recharged and jumped the battery of our team and went from a 4-8 to a what was undefeated the next year or something like that. So his mental messaging and the mindset build and the team character and the toughness, Matt Bayless was able to bring that with a seriousness and a consistency that, it made those body types change in that locker room. And I think they can appreciate it going forward.
I'm interested. How much do you look at the Gator Bowl win in a disappointing season and compare it to that Music City Bowl win in a disappointing season in 14 and say to yourself, this team has a chance if they really approach this offseason with the right mindset, barring the catastrophic injuries that you guys suffered in 15, this 2023 team has a chance to really make waves in college football.
Yeah, it comes in waves. And I think this, Notre Dame's been bubbling for a good minute to where we were a piece or two away, a call or a game or a couple points away from being considered a regular dominant type of football team. And I think what really changed was that now in this 23 class, we have all the pieces. There's no more questions. The ones that we had asked last previous 2 seasons, we've answered in the next seasons coming up. We're excited with our youth. We're excited what we got coming back, and we're excited with that middle of the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Provided a couple more pieces fall in line. So now you're getting to a point where the coaching's right, quarterback's right, and the units are right. Even our special teams got better over the last 2 years, which has been a mystery for us in the previous 10, 15. From where's the explosion coming from on a special teams levels? And I think we found not only the coaching, but the right mix of players that can make that happen. And then you go to the what's going to make it different. And I think right at 23, we have enough with the talent on the team and with the scheduling that we're gonna get the attention of a lot of programs and a lot of people across college football because we're playing the three biggest games with potentially the best quarterbacks in the country once again. Our quarterback can finally match up in some way with these three that we're facing. We have a schedule that's obviously national championship worthy, and with everything included, Marcus Freeman is at a point where it's make it or break it. This is year two. Is make it or break it. The team is right where it should be, and it's a trajectory of we continue this dynasty, or you can really take a hit, not being successful, having a repeat 9-4 season as well, or 8-4, 8-3.
I, I guess you kind of answered my question because the challenge for you guys was to get back to what was done,
Yeah,
right? The national championship game in 2012. You guys started off 2014, fantastic. Second half of the season took a dip, injuries, disappointing play. And then you come back, bowl game, and then the next thing you know, you guys are like Cam McDaniels talks about, or Cam McDaniel talked about the speech he had. going into the Music City Bowl, encouraging the seniors to take things out right and kind of challenging the underclassmen to say, yo, do you guys even care if we win this game? Like, do you care about the program and how that sparked you guys going into the off season? I just wonder if you see the same swag in this 2023 squad, because that's one of the things you talked to me about privately, is how you guys approach the off season like in a disrespectful way. Like you, Greg, Will, guys that really had not jumped upon the scene yet, but I guess you were doing it in practice. And but you guys had so much confidence that you went to that off season like, dude, oh, we're about to kill college football next season.
Oh, absolutely. And I think a lot of that was the inner confidence that we had working in the background. And we really took advantage of knowing what we wanted to be a part of, which was a championship team, and knowing that even though we may not be uh, in that prime position yet, because we had T.J. Jones, DeVaris Daniels, Tommy was there, you
Hmm.
had Nick Martin was there. We had guys still in the holster, but we really bought into the next man up mentality, where at any moment you could get in there, and then if you get in there, don't mess it up because you got that window. And I think one of and throughout the initial season, you got to see some guys flash, some guys get in there early, like Will Fuller, got in there in the Pinstripe Bowl, and had a couple plays where you kind of was like, "What was that?" And that gave us the confidence, like next year, oh, it's a wrap. Because I've been working with Will all the time, and but outside of practice, and then seeing him be able to translate what we were doing in the background in the foreground, I'm like, oh, this is really, this is, if you really work, you can put it on the field for real. Like this is, it transfers. So that kind of confidence, I think it just emanated throughout the entire team, and then the guys that came in after us kind of saw that and understood that there was a certain expectation or a level of work that we were committed to. And Notre Dame isn't like we are surrounded by a bunch of amusement parks or nothing, but uh, it gave us enough time to lock in with each other. And I think that's the underrated part about it. That summer where we're living in the dorms together, it's only us on campus, really brought us close together on and off the field. And I think that just you just saw that chemistry on game day.
Yeah, I reached out to Drake Bowen this weekend, because it was his first full week, and I'm like, yo, how was the week? He was like, yo, busy, but it was fun. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, it's fun now. Like, I understand the fun now. Like, man, you check in. You like, heck yeah. It goes back to you telling me, like, yo, when you first get there, all you worry about is the schedule and
Yeah.
not being late to workouts, class, and it's you and your roommate making sure that you guys stay on task. And I kind of picked up the same vibe with him. Like, man, I'm just focused. They have us on a crazy schedule. We're always going. We're going from this to that, and then just adding in classes beginning to start. It was very interesting to see him say it was fun at the beginning. I want to ask him like a month from now, like, is it still fun? I'm interested in seeing what he would say.
Yeah, that's the thing about a place like Notre Dame. It happens so fast because you're so focused on the next task. And by the time you finish your last task, you're like, damn, I graduated.
Man, wow.
Because you always going to have a paper or project or a prep. You're always prepping. I think that sums up Notre Dame the best. You're always prepping, whether it be for a game, practice, homework, uh,
Hmm.
you got a project, phone call, interview, internship. You're always prepping at Notre Dame. They just call it Notre Dame Preparatory Academy because you're always prepping, watching film, making your food. They got a place in the dining hall. You make your own little, make your own little waffle or something. So you always prepping at Notre Dame, and I think uh, it really translates when it comes to getting results.
Yeah.
Anything, it's a result based business over there, but you see why. There's a lot of prep that goes into how we even call offense, as intricate as it looks. So I guess it requires a lot of trust to do that. So one of those things.
LL Nation, you guys have a fabulous chat going on right now, talking about the 93 squad and some of the other great squads at Notre Dame. So I'm going to take that for a second and I'm going to test my co host and see just how honest he's going to be. Left, fully healthy, no injuries. 2015 versus 2012. Who wins?
We would win because we were more athletic, but they were kind of one dimensional. They were just going to throw it to Eifert or try to run the football.
You
But
just going to disrespect Tommy and Ev like that?
no, they were good at what they did. But 2015, we could do everything. It wasn't a limit to what we could do. I thought in 2012 you saw what we couldn't do versus Alabama, but there was nothing that in 2015 we couldn't do. Especially when we had it going the way we did. So I think it would definitely be a good game, but we were too explosive on offense. We were a team that was hitting 42, 40, 43, 44 points a game. If in 2015, 2012 was a bunch of close 24-20, type of situations, double overtime, overtime, a couple. We wasn't trying to make things close in 2015.
I would
Now,
have loved.
after
I would
all
have
the injuries,
loved to see you all try to run on that front, though.
you said
I
we
would.
wouldn't have tried.
No, I said I would have loved to see the 15 team trying to run against that defensive front.
It's just crazy because we got the same players. What I mean, it would be Zach going against who he's going against, and then
But Zach at a different level.
but Zach had it like a 2014. Zach was prime Zach,
Right.
or yeah, 2014 was prime Zach. So 2012 Zach was still really good, but 2014 Zach was no sacks allowed.
Right.
But we had Ronnie, who also had no sacks allowed.
True
See what I'm
that.
saying? So I think we would have got him just because. I mean, me, Will, and then the run game, and then everything else we had. I really believe Tyler would have been it would have been tough. But outside of Tyler and then running the football, what was 2012?
Man, I would love to take it even deeper, right? So let's say we say no injuries, no suspensions, which means you got Greg.
Oh yeah, we really beating them, man.
You got Greg, Tarian,
No
CJ.
injuries. No injuries. We definitely could have been a top 3 team in Notre Dame history. Top 3.
Let me
If
think
no
about
injuries,
let me think
no
about that for a
nothing,
second. Let me think about that for a
because
second.
we would have went undefeated. And then at a time where Bama was who they were, right before Deshaun Watson and Clemson became who they were, Stanford was still really good in the mix. I mean, they was making the playoffs, or they was in contention because they had McCaffrey, and you know, I mean, 2015 was a season for college football history, really, on how things started out.
Now, I know we say this. I trust the 12 coaching staff a little more than I trust the 15 staff.
I like the 12 coaching staff. I agree with that. I
Yeah,
agree with that.
if it was if I had to mesh the teams, I would say definitely give me Diaco.
Oh, definitely. I like
And
I like Coach Martin. I love Coach Martin. Denbrock was still there, so but Coach Martin was different.
yeah, you guys probably had better special teams too
We had
in
Amir back
2012.
there,
You got Amir,
CJ Sanders,
Lil Ray.
Lil Ray. We had Greg back there for a game. He had a damn near touchdown on the punt return.
Man, Lucky Lefty podcast. Apple Podcast, Spotify. Also, follow us on YouTube, Lucky Lefty Podcast, CFB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown, all of our great content, great conversations that we have on a daily basis. You already know it's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spin it different. So, fast forward, let's talk about some of the gains that need to happen. Some of the gains that need to happen. And I wish we could get deeper into this, but we'll like give, maybe the top three. I would like to see Blake Fisher and Joe Alt get stronger. I think that's the bigger thing. Because if I'm forecasting like playoff, I want to see them be able to get more push.
Blake Fisher being stronger, definitely. I would love to see, just because I think he can be that force that you see, that Aaron Banks type of figure on the line where you're like, man, that's a big deal. I don't want to mess with him.
Right.
I think in 2015, having Q just gave our overall line like they're good and they're mean.
Mm.
It's one thing to be a good old line. Like Michigan's a good old line. They combo blocking, they boom, but they wasn't mean. 2015, we was good and mean. Where you might catch an elbow messing around, or we might block you through the whistle. We might hold you down a little bit or something.
Right.
We was on that type of time. Because Q gave us that, we really out here, moving things around, moving furniture. So I think being good and mean is something that having Blake be the enforcer type, I think would be a good one. Like what they say, the jabroni. He's in hockey, they call him the jabroni.
Yeah.
Just throw him out there, just beat up somebody, then we good. I think that could be his image for the offensive line. I think we can carry it next year with him being stronger.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I think something else I would like to see. I think Tyler's too tight, like his body type.
Yeah,
when you have a tight body type,
dude. He's a stiff guy.
Yeah, and I don't know if maybe yoga or something else, some band work.
I just think that's the type of
That's just the type of athlete he is.
Because he's like, when he runs, he's like herky jerky almost, like a stick shift. You really gotta. He is like not smooth whatsoever. Like no way, he's not smooth. But he gets there and everything, and you'll be like, oh, he's athletic, but like everything he does is 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you can't, as a quarterback, you run the ball like a legit running back. Like he legit really runs the football.
Mm-hmm.
You know how some guys, when they run, it's like, oh, they like get him down, get a hand on him, do something, because he's just out there like somebody hit him.
Right.
Tyler Buckner's like, I'm taking on hits.
Right.
Like we're running to get the first. But I think that's a great point though, for him to be just smooth it out.
Just like, smooth it out a little bit, right? Like, is it something Matt Bayless can come up with to kind of like
give finesse to him?
Yeah, I'm not trying to make him, lessen his strength. That's not what I'm trying to do. Shape it a little bit differently. That would be a gain if they could. I mean, I'm just saying, hypothetically, theoretically, we're talking gains.
Like if he was a basketball player, he would be like that Kenneth Fareed type of player. Like he's trying to get boards, he's banging low, and he ain't the biggest or nothing, but he out there, Isaiah Stewart type. Just a good ball player, but you just kind of rough. Don't put you in nothing. You the type to walk into my house, just be bumping things off the table on accident. You turn around, knock something over on accident, you're just a rough dude.
Yo. How many pounds do you think 15 needs to add? Tobias Merriweather.
If he got ideally, if he looked like Kevin Austin, I think Kevin Austin was a good prototype for a size type of thing, or a Miles Boykin type. Miles started looking better his senior year instead of looking, like a kid from Chicago. He put some weight on. You know, he's
Man,
starting
well,
to look
hold on. What you trying to say? Like Tobias right now is 6'4", 198. That's what he came in at,
He'll
right?
be 6'4", 225, and he be and keep the speed.
225?
Yeah, he'd be dangerous because he's not a
Oh,
finesse type
maybe,
of receiver.
maybe get to 225, but like 210 for the sophomore year.
Oh, I'm saying end of the career 225.
Yeah, 225 by the time he's done. Okay. But
But
I'm not trying to see him.
215, I
Yeah,
would like to see him big just because if he can be that speed and be that size, he's a young Calvin Johnson. Because you're not sending him on routes where he's gotta get inside and be quick and all that. He's Calvin
yeah,
Johnson.
yeah,
Post, go routes, maybe a dig or two. Send him deep.
yeah.
Because he keeps his speed. It's another level.
I definitely want to see right along the offensive line, just in general, get stronger, more explosive. Create more movement, especially on the interior of that offensive line. That's something I'll definitely be looking for as far as gains. I'm interested in seeing if guys like Howard Cross and the interior defensive linemen what their weights are. I'm interested. I'm interested in seeing what Tyson Ford is weight wise too.
Hold on one
Is he
second,
going to
get my
sit?
charger.
Is he going to sit in that 280 range, or is he going to sit in that 280, that 290 range, and basically be used strictly interior, rather than when they go to a three-man front or odd front, being able to play the edge with his athleticism. That's something I'm going to watch as well. That'll be interesting. LL Nation, how do you think Audric Estime is going to come back and look? He's already, man, cut is not even a word. Would you like him to stay the same? Would you like him to cut weight? Would you like him to add weight? LL question of the day. Or is he perfect right where he is? Audric Estime. We're talking about gains, leaps and bounds at Notre Dame. All season workouts have begun. We talked to Drake Bowen. He talked about he's having a ball, he's having fun, and it's just super busy. What do you think? Everybody, John Massey said, yeah, probably stay the same, drop a little. Ryan Loftus said, remain the same. Thank you for tapping in today. Mr. Sanders said, add Derrick Henry 2.0. Yeah, he's definitely not skipping leg days ever. Ever. Yeah. It is it's going to be interesting. I think for me, him and Logan Diggs and the expectations that I think everybody in the fan base has for that combination in the entire backfield. It's going to be interesting to see how they attack this off season, how they try to change their body. Of course, getting stronger so they stay healthier, especially Logan Diggs. This will be Logan Diggs' first healthy off season. So I'm looking forward to how he can impact himself and impact his game in this off season. Man, Roger Blackman said he thinks that he can add about 10 pounds. One thing I will say, Audric Estime has some of the best feet for the running backs. And that's one thing I pointed out, like watching him in the spring last year. I was like, yo, his feet are amazing, dude, to be that big and be that size. So, the original Clyde the Glide, I love that, Clyde. Thank you for tapping in. I think Hulk Smash needs to get stronger like Julius Jones did. Well, Julius Jones, that DNA from the Jones family, they cut up easily. Almost if they just did 5 curls, their muscles would just bulge. But I'm just interested in seeing what he looks like. after this off-season training with Matt Bayless and what his focus, not only for him and, just talking to Dealer McCullough and the plan they have. Because, man, watching that Ohio State game over the weekend and even going back to the Gator Bowl, Audric Estime has some of his most impressive runs. He's had some impressive runs. But the play before the touchdown to Mitchell Evans, the game-winning touchdown to Mitchell Evans, and then he had a run against Ohio State in the second quarter. Might have been two of his most impressive runs all year, and they might have totaled 5 yards. They may have totaled 5 yards. I'm talking about he got cracked by multiple Buckeye defenders, at least 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and ended up making 3 yards out of it. The South Carolina game, they had, they were tired defenders, but at least 2 or 3 of them had a crack at him 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and he ends up getting 2 to 3 yards and turning it from being possibly 3rd and 11 into 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, which gives Tommy an opportunity to go ahead and call that next play. So, which was funny because I think South Carolina at that point really thought, this is funny, Left. South Carolina really thought Notre Dame was going to be playing for the field goal, bro.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, this is Notre Dame. This is Notre Dame. There's no way.
Notre Dame would have did that.
Facts. And I think Beamer, they looked at the personnel and said, oh, man, they're going to play for the field goal right here. Play action, backside drag, tight end. There you go. But just the effort by Audric Estime. What would you like to see from 7? You want to see him at the same weight? You want to see him add some weight, drop some weight?
I like what Audric Estime brings as an impact runner. Mm-hmm. He's running through the hole, colliding with something and moving things around himself, falling forward. So whatever can help him continually, maybe it's add weight, maybe it's speed, but whatever he can do to continue to, whatever he can do, how do I say this? Whatever he can do to help him fall forward.
Got you.
If he can build on falling forward like he does, that's an easy 4 yards to carry. And I think that would be a great jump start for an offense to start 2nd and 6. You can do anything you want. Short yardage, if he's falling forward, whether that be add some weight or some speed or whatever, that may be even 5 yards next year. I think him being a force in that drive starter, because he's a drive starter, you backed up with something tough, give it to him, he's getting you 4, giving you some breathing room, or finishing drives. That's his role on the team I can see. I wouldn't make it so much like he's got to touch it 30 times. But the times he does touch it are in moments of the game that you really need it,
right?
But also moments where you got to punch it in. It could be situations like that. I think Logan Diggs would be the better overall back, want to down to down. But if Estime maybe he gets bigger and maybe has some speed, as long as he's falling forward, I think he's in a good spot.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Benjamin Morrison, you really just want to see him add some strength.
With Ben Morrison is really just get bigger, get faster, obviously. The things that are special about him are things you really can't train, like just having an awareness for the ball. Can't really train that. His hands look really natural. Can't really train. I mean, you can train it, but some guys can just know how to, they say form the diamond when you catch it. Some dudes know how to do that really well. So for him, it's just a maturity through college football. Just get bigger and stronger and faster. But instinctually, good.
I think the entire sophomore class just needs to get stronger, right? Gator Bowl, perfect example, man. We saw Jalen Sneed come off the edge, pass rushing, but he just didn't have the strength to hold off the tackle and make the turn to the quarterback.
That's
You
right.
know, he would slip and fall or either get pushed back a little bit further than he wanted to. And that's, you're gonna have to do some squats. You're gonna have to add some weight, and have counters. Speaking of counters, hey man, look, we don't support on the Lucky Lefty podcast, we don't support violence against Notre Dame people. Hey, Micah Parsons, what you did to McGlinchey on Sunday, bro, you didn't have to hip toss that man like that, bro.
What was that last part?
Man, Micah Parsons,
Mhm.
the way he hip tossed Mike McGlinchey in
Oh,
that game, I was
nasty.
oh my god, dude, like don't put us on blast like that. You just go find somebody else, get somebody else from another school. But man, that's what I would love to see somebody turn into from this sophomore class,
Mm.
right? That's Jalen Sneed, um, Josh Burnham, Tyson Ford. Like one of these sophomores physically are going to have to hit the scene and take a step.
Yeah, we would love to get a Micah Parsons on our D line. I mean, that'll just be the everything we needed, and
Hmm.
I'm sure guys are out there like that. We got guys on our team that have the potential. I just think a mean factor has to be included in that D line room. Maybe that comes from Al Washington just feeding them nails for breakfast every morning or something. But I think that would elevate the and fix some of the issues that I think takes time, like to add weight to your D line takes some time. But if they were some mean mofos in that front line, they'd be hard
Hmm.
to deal with though.
Yeah,
They'd be like Stanford found a way. They
facts.
averaged 250 and made it look like they had Jordan Davis out there. So it's an aggression uh,
Mm.
that we have to add to the D line that in the short term, while we're adding weight, while we're getting the Justin Scotts of the world, this, that, and the third, that would I think can help us overcome some of the deficiencies we have.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Like we said, we didn't dig as much as we can. Maybe we'll do some more next week. But leaps and bounds at Notre Dame. Games off season with Matt Bayless. We talked about 4 or 5 guys, different positions, and what we might be looking for when they head into spring practice. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. We spin it different. Hey, that's it for that. We're getting ready to talk can or can't at Notre Dame. Leaps and bounds at Notre Dame. Right here, Lucky Lefty podcast. All right, Left, you ready for this?
Yep.
Leaps and bounds at Notre Dame. Can or can't 2023 Fighting Irish edition. Also, hey, I'm familiar with a guy that's a Hall of Famer that played safety in college and ended up being a Hall of Fame middle linebacker here for the Chicago Bears. You might have heard of him. His name is Brian Urlacher. And Notre Dame just happened to offer his son recently. So we're going to look at his film left in a little bit. And
What's his first name?
Kennedy Urlacher.
Kennedy Urlacher.
I'm interested in seeing
A
how
nice
you.
sex name.
Yes, he's out of Arizona. That's where I remember this story when Brian Urlacher was really young. That's where he met his mom and out west, and they moved out there. I remember when Kennedy was actually born. I remember the birth being covered and talked about when he was a little baby here in Chicago. So
Mm,
now he's a big time 24 prospect.
okay.
Yeah, he's a
So you
big
might
time
have
20.
some ties to get right there.
Well, we'll see if you think. I already know what I like about the young man. When we show the film, I'm gonna see what you say because you grade. You one of those teachers that you're difficult. You stick to the
Oh, I'm a
grade.
realist. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you stick to the scale, right? You got the 80 to 89 is a B. Somebody gets a 79, you won't even give them an extra bump to get the B. That's you. You're just a disrespectful teacher and grader, man. You just are, man. You have no heart, no empathy for what it takes to be a
I
student.
only give grades of what you earn and what you deserve. That's all.
All right, 2023 Fighting Irish can or can't right here. Can Notre Dame have the best quarterback in college football next year?
I think we have the best 1-2 combo.
That
Because
wasn't a
I'm not
question.
confident.
You hedging your
I'm
bet,
not
boy.
confident
So that's a
that
can't.
Tommy is going to let.
That's a can't.
I don't know if he's going to let one of those guys just sit on the pine all season.
Okay.
But I do think we have the chance to have a guy in New York maybe not win it. Maybe not. But if they're doing what we're supposed to do and go 11-1, 12-0, one of them going to be in New York, maybe both.
Can Notre Dame have 2 1,000-yard rushers?
Yes. Maybe 3 if we get my boy Jadarian Price in that thing.
Come on, dude. You're not getting 3.
Jadarian Price.
What, you trying, Sam Hartman's throwing 20 passes per game?
Oh, we just might have a lot of points. Who knows?
Oh, man. Can Notre Dame have a double-digit sack man on defense?
No, not this year. Unless we get
Wow, you don't think so?
a double digit. I think we'll have sacks as a unit. But who individually is getting more than 10? Because they would have did it already. It would have been.
Well, if somebody has to jump on the scene and do it for the first time, like Isaiah Foskey was following up what he had already done.
I don't see anybody getting over 10.
You don't see anyone?
Well, who do you
10
think?
sacks?
I think we'll have some 5s and
dude. Dude, I've been this way since the first time I saw his takeoff in spring practice. I think Josh Burnham is going to shock a lot of people next year coming off.
They have more than 10 sacks?
I think it's possible. Heck, did you think it was possible that Riley Mills could get 3 sacks in a game?
Listen, 10 sacks in a season for guys that we don't even know. You saying Josh Burnham, but you're saying he's going to shock people. So that means that now.
No, I said he's going to shock people because I've seen his first step and his speed off the edge in practice. I've seen it. Notre Dame fans haven't seen it.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. We ain't seen it. How you going to get over 10?
Look, Jermaine Hargraves, thank you for Jordan Patello. You've seen Jordan.
I think Jordan is good, but do I think he can have over 10 sacks? Foskey had 25 to break the record. Who are we having that? Okay, I'll be realistic. Who's getting 8? I think Jordan can get 8.
You think Jordan can get 8? You think that's the ceiling?
I don't think an individual is getting over 10. I think as a unit, we'll have sacks and turnovers and stuff. Because the way we play, a different guy may pop on defense on the D-line each week. But I don't think we have a guy where teams are like, if we don't block him, he's going to have 4 or 5 sacks this game. I mean, do you think so? I know you said Josh Burnham, Riley Mills had 3 sacks.
You know somebody else that I think if their reps are kept, and it's something we talked about yesterday, if their reps are kept 30 to 35 per game.
Cross.
I can see Howard Cross getting about 7-8 sacks from the interior.
But shit, if you playing 35 snaps, you better be active.
Man, you only need one sack a game.
Yeah, well, you need to warm up, unless he just go in there on straight pass downs. Because if that's the case, he doing all that, you're going to have to play more for sure. You're going to be playing the whole game.
Oh, man, Lucky Lefty podcast. Man, can Notre Dame get a 100 tackle season from one of their linebackers?
But that's a concern, though. If we can't think off the top of our head who can get double sacks, coming off of the quote unquote statistical best sack leader of all time in Notre Dame history, and we're not following that up. I think Keon could have been that follow-up,
Oh, that goes without saying. Yeah.
But damn, we don't have nobody in the tank that's like, oh, the next Foskey Or maybe Foskey's really a generational statistical leader.
Dude, that falls on Al Washington. That's on him to produce that dude and the young men at that position.
Mm.
Can Notre Dame have a 100 tackle linebacker this year?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
The linebacker unit,
Are you putting it on JD?
somebody in that room is going to have it because Marcus Freeman is saying this is the best unit on the team. I'm recruiting it like it's the best unit on the team. I got all resources. I'm there. So one of them players, or it's a failed season, I think. Because if I'm Marcus Freeman, I'm a linebacker. My linebacker better be shining. Just like if I had a son, he played football, he's starting. Like Deion Sanders said, he's starting, and here he is right here. He ain't gonna. So that should be the pride and joy of your program. If you're a linebacker,
Mm-hmm.
his linebackers should be having 100+ tackles easy. We should
Okay.
the what's the award called? The Buckus Award. Jalen got it. Manti got it. Owusu got it.
Okay.
Drake going maybe? Is Drake gonna get it? I think
I
all of our
don't think
guys.
Drake. I think Drake might be special teams his first year.
Oh yeah, first year.
I think
Yeah.
first year it'd be special teams.
I
I
mean, he
got
might
one.
get in there. Shit.
We're talking can or can't leaps and bounds in Notre Dame. Can Notre Dame have anybody collect more interceptions than Benjamin Morrison?
No, not next year. Even though I
Mm.
think it would be good. I think to have 6 in what 3-4 games that he had, that's an anomaly.
Do you think he can do it again?
Throughout the whole season, yeah. Because I think with Cam coming back, the defenses, offense is gonna have a hard time deciding who they're gonna go after. You know, do they go after the youth or do they go after the old head? You know,
Mm.
one's a little bit more dangerous on the stat sheet. One's pretty good, got a lot to prove. You know, it's gonna be some balls thrown in his area for sure.
It's interesting because I think if we can get a full healthy season for Cam, I think Cam can maybe collect because I think he'll get thrown at more because of Benjamin Morrison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna be a balance because if Cam is doing what we think he's gonna do, they're gonna start trying the other side.
Mm. Yeah,
You
you
know,
got I got Thomas Harper. He has great ball skills at the nickel.
he's not a pick artist though. He'll hit something. He only got
Yeah, he already told us to hit.
his own.
He told us he likes hitting better than picking
Yeah,
it off.
yeah, his
He
stats don't
did
say
say that.
anything. Yeah, he
He
might
did
affect
say that.
the play, get one of them tips
Right.
for our guy Ben or Cam, but he ain't Ed reading nothing.
That's a good call. That's a good call. Can Notre Dame have a no sack tackle?
Oh, for
Can,
sure. I
okay.
think we're in line. But we usually put that out. Every 3 or 4 years, you put out a guy that ain't giving up no sacks. So it would be usual for Notre Dame. It wouldn't be out of the ordinary. Like I think having 6 picks is out of the ordinary for us, but not giving up no sacks for a tackle, I think, is right in line.
Can the Notre Dame defense hold teams to under 100 yards per game on the ground?
We
That's a
might
can.
give up. We
That's a
might
can.
give up. We might give up 105 or something.
That's a can.
But it goes back to not having no sack leader.
We're talking about on the ground, though,
I
bro. I mean,
know, but it all plays. It all plays.
I see what you're saying. It's all
Yeah,
connected.
we ain't got one, and we ain't got no heavy set dudes up in front. I just can't see us being just like, oh, we're just, you know what I mean? I think we'll be good, but come on, man. Like, we're playing good teams. Okay, let's throw that as a factor. We're
Yeah.
playing good team. We're not just playing like a FAMU or Mississippi, Colorado State, Pueblo or something. We're playing some teams that practice every week like us, but I just don't understand how we don't get the weight that we need as a program that's so defined by
Man,
how
it's
good we
funny.
are. Good grief.
I see you, Jay Henry. It's funny because I jokingly told somebody the next time I see Justin Scott, I'm gonna ask him if he can reclassify. Like we've been talking about CJ Carr reclassifying.
He need to reclassify for real.
Like,
Talking about all that
hey,
basketball stuff. Okay, I
right.
know you like basketball, but come on, bro. Come on, bro. Stop playing. I'm like, yes, you good at basketball. That's cool. But come get this money over here, man.
Facts. Lucky Lefty podcast. Look, can Notre Dame throw for 3,500 yards this year?
No.
Wait a minute. That's like 290 a game, left.
Not even the great Ian Book had 3,500 yards in Notre Dame. And he played every game. So what's that tell you?
You don't think
Ian Book,
the quarterback room
the
can
winningest
combine for
quarterback,
3,500?
the winningest quarterback of all time, his senior year threw for under 2,500 yards and played every game. He never had a season over 3,000. I mean, unless I'm wrong, did he have a season over 3,000?
Yes, he did.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
wait. No.
No, he's never had a season over 3,000.
I think you might be right in
That's
saying
what I'm
that.
saying. And he's the winningest quarterback of all time, the great Ian Book. So, no, I don't think we'll get over 35. 3,500 is a good season, though.
But you got to save your Sam, dude.
No. The great Ian Book.
He did. 2019, 3,034. He barely got over it. Come on, man. Sam Hartman can get to 35, dude.
Come on, dude. Ian Book has won the most games in Notre Dame history.
But you know Ian Book wasn't a passer like that. Come on.
Listen to me. If you have won the most games in Notre Dame history, you got a lot of stabs at it. And you get the ball every snap. And you ain't got over 30. Come on, man. That's why he's great. Because he's great when he's needed the most.
That leads me to the next question.
He's not a surplus guy. He's not gonna leave you a lot of surplus. He's gonna get the job done, though. He ain't gonna leave you with no take home, no extra food on the side. No. You're gonna get your exact amount.
You ready for this one? Can Tyler Buckner beat out Sam Hartman?
No. I don't think we brought Sam for that.
Wait. That's a can't?
Can't.
There's no chance?
No chance. Unless Sam get hurt. I really don't think we brought Sam for him to sit behind a guy who ain't. Sam has played more than Tyler. So if anything, if I'm Sam, I'm like, you better not think about playing no Tyler over. Like what? I can give Tyler seasons on the game that I played.
You don't even give Tyler a puncher's chance?
No, because they got Sam. What are you bringing the winningest quarterback of all time in Wake Forest history to sit behind a guy that ain't played more than 4 games? That don't even make sense.
What if Tyler just comes out in the spring, just kill him?
That don't even make no man. Then we bad. Then we recruiting bad. Then because then I would just be like, okay, instead of wasting time on getting Sam that we gonna bench behind a guy that's never played, I'm gonna just go get another receiver or running back or something that can help.
I would at least give him a small percentage of a chance, dude. Like 5%.
No. I give him 0, but I think he'll get in.
Not even 0.005, bro.
Unless he get hurt. But I really do believe if Sam is what Tommy thinks he is, then Tyler can get cleanup minutes, like fourth quarter, like how Bama does it. They be blowing kids out by the halftime, and then they third, fourth unit be in by third, fourth quarter.
Man, some of the people in the chat agree with you. They're absolute zero.
Yeah, like man, I would say it would be wasting time to try to act like you're gonna put Tyler Buckner in over Sam because I would be pissed if I'm Sam. It's a guaranteed job.
Mm.
It's guaranteed once they said come, you know. Tyler knew. Shoot, you can't tell me Tyler thought Tyler should answer that question. He did. He said, "Oh, I knew we was bringing in one in the middle of the season." So,
Man, Lucky Lefty podcast.
but I think he'll get in. So it's not like to poo-poo on Tyler. I think Tyler's gonna get in. I just don't think that it's set up politically for him to start over Sam.
Mm. Can Notre Dame have a freaking Charlie Jones next year?
No,
Can Notre Dame have 1,000-yard receiver next year?
no.
Left.
No. We'll have a bunch of guys.
You have little faith, man.
Who's the guy gonna be? Okay, I think by
What you mean?
committee.
Well, wait. I thought you would. Well, I didn't know you were waiting for an answer from.
It was halfway hypothetical. I
thought you were being rhetorical with
halfway
it.
Rhetorical.
Okay.
But you can answer if you really think you can answer it. Who's that? Jaden Thomas? I would like to see that.
I can see Jaden getting 1,000 next year.
But we're not bringing in Caleb Smith. It's like I believe we'll have a lot more reception yards. I just don't think individually we're ready to have a receiver.
I can see Jaden getting over 50 receptions. I don't know if he's explosive enough to get to 1,000.
Yeah, I think he'll get the most receptions.
Okay.
Because he should. He's the number one receiver, in my opinion, next year. Which number one receivers, as of late, only getting around 50 receptions.
Can Notre Dame have a double-digit touchdown receiver?
No. I think we will have 1,000-yard receiver before a double touchdown receiver. Because when we get in that red zone, we turn around, hand it off. Or tossing it to a tight end on the little flat route or something, but we ain't. But I don't know. Maybe Sam Hartman got Tommy filling away, and we go out there and really try to shake it up.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. Great content. Leave 5 stars. We would greatly appreciate it. Leave your comments. We respond to all comments, whether it's on our podcast or on the YouTube page at Lucky Lefty Podcast. Make sure you hit the notification bell. So anytime we drop a video or go live, you'll know. And go ahead. Leave your comments as well, because we respond, man. It's because of you guys that we have the success that we do. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spin it different. Talking leaps and bounds at Notre Dame. Can or can't. Can Notre Dame have the best offensive line in the country next year?
For sure. We had it this year, but they just had to give it to Michigan because
I don't know. Wait a minute now. I think Michigan was more consistent from the first game, even though their schedule was trash.
We talk about the end of the road when the last pad hit the pad. If we are standing on
look, I think Notre Dame deserved to be in the conversation and nominated. I'll say that.
We're definitely finalists.
Not to even be nominated was ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't. Michigan didn't play anybody. They clearly aren't mean, and we saw that from the championship game. I think it was a good game. I just don't think they're a mean offensive line. I think they're a good offensive line. Like they technically, if you draw it up, they're gonna do it, but they don't have no Quentin Nelson.
Right.
They don't even have Zach Martin. They have good players. They don't even have Taylor Lewan. I like Taylor. I thought he was mean. But you see where he got him to the NFL. He's still playing in the league. So it just shows. But our offensive line is more battle tested. And the fact that we're able to get better throughout the season, Michigan, I don't even think their O-line got better. I just think they were just good throughout the whole year. We got better because we had a point where we wasn't all together. And each game, you can see noticeable changes that, okay, we're more consistent here. We're getting better in this. We're doing better in this. This player's getting better. This guy's healthier. Zeke Corral's killing it. You saw us get better. Michigan was just, okay, they're playing IU. It's not really a matchup, but they're a good team. So they're just printing out copy and paste Xerox performances. But with us, at least we had a range and we got better. You know, we finished better than we started. Michigan's just like, yeah, we were good the whole season. So I don't know if you could even say, yes, they were consistent, but did they get better?
I can see that. I can see that. I definitely think they're going to be nominated this year. Georgia's going to give them, because Georgia just had their center come back instead of going to the draft. I think they returned two of the guys. So that front line for them is going to be stellar. Ohio State lost a lot. So I don't know how their offensive line is going. I know they have talent and they recruit talent. I just don't know how that O-line is going to play out.
If any year to get Ohio State is this year.
Yeah, Oregon's offensive line is going to be good next year. It was good this year. That's another thing. Like, how do you grade? Because, like, if an offensive line, if you put Notre Dame's offensive line in the Pac-12 all last year, I guarantee you their rushing numbers would have been ridiculous.
But this is why I'm confused, like you said, how we're not even nominated. If you had to look at, like you said, how do you even evaluate it? At least with us, we play everybody.
Right.
So every year we should be nominated. Like LeBron should be nominated every year for MVP.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for our offensive line. We should be nominated, at least nominated.
Now, that's one of the first things you said about LeBron that I would actually agree with. That made some sense right there. That right there made some sense, because I would agree with that. That made some sense.
Now we just got to add the other 99%.
Yeah, that made some sense. That made some sense.
I mean, but seriously though, how do you evaluate if Oregon's offensive line is really good for real? I mean, now the Pac-12 is getting better from a talent standpoint at the quarterback position, but from a defense and blocking standpoint, come on. Because whenever Oregon plays, i.e. Georgia, it was like they couldn't block for nothing.
Man, that was such a mismatch, bro.
It was such a mismatch, but this team
but then they end up getting nominated for the best offensive line, which is crazy.
Impossible. You should be denominated right after that game. Like, there's no way y'all could be considered as the best in the country.
That's a good point, Left. That's a good point. It's almost like, you know how they eliminate in the Olympics, they take away the lowest and the highest score.
Yeah.
You know? That's kind of what they did. That's kind of what they did for Oregon. Like, we're just gonna go ahead and throw that game out.
Because the game was so bad they almost had to. But you can't have a game that extreme and just be like, oh, it's a bad game. No, you guys can't be nominated for the best O-line, because that means that if you guys won, for instance, then what does that make Georgia? Just out of this world. Like, they're not even. If y'all did that to the best O-line award, what does that make Georgia that year? Just monsters?
They know this Georgia offensive line were the Monstars, dude. They get you. And I think that's the conversation we had yesterday about Notre Dame giving up big runs to teams in the second half because of the lack of size and depth up front.
Yeah, it's attrition. You
need size to weight, man.
And you 265,
man.
You giving up that hole. But that's
pause.
But for real, you giving up the lane or something. Especially they start double teaming. We shouldn't have anything under 285 in the three technique. Anything under that, you just know by fourth quarter, yeah, it's about time to start blitzing.
Yeah.
Some gaps are gonna be like
that. Yeah. Like TCU just stopped playing.
Yeah, it was like, all right,
they're just like, man, we're not even gonna try.
Like,
I'm not even gonna try.
Where are we? We should be playing a different championship, because this one is. We signed up for the wrong one.
Dudes were playing like
Georgia,
they were playing like they actually got their test scores back before they ran to the store. See, Ricky, he didn't get the test scores. He went to get the food and the lottery tickets and the food to cook.
mm.
And we know what happened on Boys in the Hood. Some of the TCU defensive linemen, they must have gotten their recommendation back from the NFL, boy. Like, man, you going in the second round because it looked like they made the business decision. Like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm
they
going
said,
to
look,
I'm going in the second round, dog.
because if I put myself in over in this little action, well, I won't even be healthy for the off season. So let me go ahead and just
Right,
let me make a Cam Newton decision, not get
right.
that fumble.
Like, I'm not even about to mess up my invitation to the Senior Bowl.
Because I need them reps. I ain't about to tear my shoulder off trying to block this behemoth.
Man,
Man,
TCU
Georgia,
definitely made some business decisions in the second half.
but it was just two different. It was literally two different level teams on that field.
Yeah,
Which is why college football committee was hoping and praying and wishing that Ohio State Michigan would be in that championship game because that would be great for the ratings.
yeah.
But they should have just put Bama in there and stopped playing. Thankfully, we're getting this expansion playoff, so it'll figure itself out better, I think. Because the fact that you're playing back-to-back weeks, multiple games of that magnitude definitely can shake a top team like a Georgia. Just because, it's like somebody can get you in a tournament style like that. But the previous way, it's like, man, just put the ones with the ratings and the legit best team. Like, yeah, Alabama lost, but come on.
I got one last one for you. Can Notre Dame blow out 5 teams on their schedule?
No.
Left.
We'll get closer though.
Left. The first 3 games should be layups.
You said 5 though.
Right. That means Stanford at the end of the year.
We're not blowing out Stanford in California. That don't happen.
We did it 2 years ago. What you mean?
We're not doing it this year.
Left. You being way too pessimistic, Left.
No, I think
way too pessimistic.
You they can't blow out. Are you saying
blow
Georgia
out 5
TCU?
teams?
Are you saying Georgia TCU blowout?
That's not a blowout. You already know that's beyond.
No, that's a blowout.
That's beyond blowout, bro. I didn't say embarrass. I didn't say decimate. Dude, you realize Georgia started the season and ended their season with the 2 biggest embarrassing games all year. Just think about that. What they did to Oregon in the first game and what they did to TCU in the last game. It's like, dude.
I mean, that's what I thought you was meaning. We're not doing that.
That's crazy. That's
5
crazy,
games?
Left. Okay, let's say a blowout. Okay. If you're on the sticks in Madden, it's 21 get off the stick, right?
Okay. Are we 21 in teams this year? Okay. For 5
and
games?
Notre Dame 21 5 teams on this schedule.
Let me see the schedule real quick. Because we're not doing that to Navy, I don't think. Just because that's just
out the gate? Come on, Left.
Look at what Navy does us every year.
Left.
When's the last time we blew Navy out?
Left. They were up 30. They were up over 21 points with Drew Pine.
But they
Come on, Left. Come on, Left.
They came back.
That's because they started blitzing the quarterback. He was a deer in headlights.
Hold on, let me find the schedule because I don't. 5 is a lot to be 21-0 in teams. You don't think so?
Look, I think the first 3 they can get 3 out of the way.
Tennessee State. I think we can do it to
Navy, Tennessee State, and Central Michigan. They should all get off the sticks. Be forced to get off the sticks.
I wouldn't say Navy.
Okay, so you have 2 out of the first 3.
Yep, and then you go.
The way you talked about Ohio State last week, they're going to get them off the sticks too.
We won't 20. We'll beat them by double digits, though. We'll beat them by like 17. I don't think we're going to. They still Ohio State. I don't know if we're doing it to Duke or Louisville. Maybe one of those 2. If we hot, We can get a Louisville maybe.
Okay, that's 3.
We'll do it to Wake because we got their quarterback.
Okay, that's 4.
The Duke Louisville one is a stretch, so that's coming off
Nah.
Ohio State. It's coming off of Ohio State, getting ready for USC. So, are we 21? We should, if we want to be serious, we should be 21 in Louisville, getting ready for USC. But I think it'll be a lot to ask. And then it just comes down to Stanford. I mean, you think we'll 31 Clemson again?
Dude, I think they're going to, crush Stanford. They went out there and crushed Stanford with Jack Cohn, bro.
I get that, but you're saying they're gonna do it on the last game of the season? We're gonna beat them more than 21?
That could be the 5th.
Well, yeah, I mean, if this is the last game of the season, that's just you just hoping that happens, but that's still a stretch. Because but I think we can go 11-1 winning plus 10. We can plus 10 these teams.
Will plus 10 be impressive enough for you, though?
Oh, 100%. Winning is impressive.
No, bro. Plus 10 against Navy ain't it. Plus 10 against Tennessee State ain't it.
No. I counted the Tennessee State one as a blowout.
Central Michigan, that needs to be plus 21 minimum.
Yep, I counted that one. North Carolina State, a plus 10 win against North Carolina
State. What did they end up being? Well, they were up big on North Carolina.
That's what I'm saying.
What was the final score of that North Carolina game?
Lost by like 14 or something.
Oh.
Ohio State.
You're right. It ended up being a 13-point game. You're right.
Yeah,
you had Aldrich fumble at the goal line, and then they came down and scored. That flipped the score. You're right.
And then Ohio State, that'll be a 10+ victory would be nice. That'll be good to see. And then games we're just supposed to win. Duke and Louisville, we're supposed to win those games.
Jay Henry said Stanford, Navy, Tennessee State, Central Michigan, and Wake. Maybe Louisville. So he had 5 in a push.
That's why I said that Louisville Duke is a maybe. I don't think they're 21+ games. Having 14+, I think would be nice, but not 21. Pitt. Off a bye week, we can get Pitt.
Yeah.
Off a bye week, we can get. So maybe Pitt. Yeah.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Now, before we get to the film on Kennedy Urlacher and get out of here, Lev, the Under Armour deal. It gets a lot of talk because it's coming to an end. 10-year deal, $90 million. At the time it was signed, it was the most lucrative apparel deal ever signed. Right? Things have changed mightily in 10 years, Lev. We can sit up here and talk. Let me tell you something. Marcus Freeman, in my opinion, has thrown Under Armour a lifeline in the last year. Because he has made their apparel look 10 times better than it ever looked on Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Ever.
He didn't have a tall torso, so all them shirts look wrinkled.
No, I think Marcus Freeman actually cares about how he looks.
I mean, Marcus Freeman's a fly guy from the 937 now.
Here we go. I knew you were going to get the 937 in there somehow, some way.
I'm telling you, it just oozes off of the man.
At the time, Notre Dame came from Adidas. They go to Under Armour. And the cool thing is Notre Dame not only got the $90 million, but they got shares and stock in the company.
You know we're going to get that equity.
No, they ain't got that equity. So that deal is...
Ain't no straight up deal with us. You know we're going to get that equity.
Facts. Now, I will say this. If they choose to go Nike, it won't be because of football. I think it will be in part to helping out the basketball side. Because Under Armour is not bringing top recruits are not coming to an Under Armour school. Not in basketball.
Steph Curry.
Once again, top recruits are not coming to an Under Armour school consistently. They're just not. So If it's brand Jordan or Nike, it definitely is going to help the basketball side. The men's basketball specifically. Women's basketball, they got national championships. That sells itself.
Yeah,
National
women's basketball.
championships,
Yeah.
good coaching, a long list,
Congratulations to Neil getting her 50th win.
absolutely long
Coach of
list
the
of
year.
WNBA players. That the women's
That Neil's
program speaks for
responsible
itself.
for personally. She's coached Enrique and Sky and all them.
All of them, all
Shout
of
out
them,
to Neil Ivy, best coach out there
all of
right
them.
now.
Do you think Marcus Freeman will look better in Nike gear?
I think once you become a Nike school, you just get low quality stuff, man. And just you'll never get what Oregon gets. You know, I think Under Armour treat is nice.
Yeah, you kind of become part of like this big conglomerate.
Yeah, you get the basic package number one where you get a bunch of plain t-shirts. Oh man, it don't feel personalized. If it
Under
came,
Armour's done a pretty good job with the with the special jerseys
man,
for the Shamrock series.
they've done a good job.
They've done a good
I
job.
don't want to
Yeah.
look like another version color of a jersey that Nike just lazily puts out. They really got lazy on their designs outside of
See,
Oregon.
see, this is the thing. I just don't know if Under Armour can cut that check that's needed. See, the
Yeah,
90 mil was cool 10 years ago.
10 years ago,
That check is totally different now.
we gotta get paid
Especially
more than Pat Mahomes.
especially with Marcus Freeman, sport and everything. That's a different. That's a
Adidas
step
wouldn't be
up.
bad going back. Get some Yeezy cleats for
I
games.
mean, it would have been nice before Yeezy actually left, or Adidas cut ties with Yeezy. That'd have been fresh if the whole squad had Yeezys
Man,
walking around
green
campus with
Yeezys.
Yeezys. Ooh.
They ain't trying to make no money, man. But
If they ask,
but we probably gonna go to Nike because I don't think we would go back to Adidas, right? I mean, that don't make no sense
yeah,
unless we try to do something different like Puma or something crazy.
yeah. I don't know if Under Armour is ready to go 150 and above.
They should. We the best investment they got.
You darn right about that. Definitely help to put them on the map. You're right about that. Like Nike, Jordan Brand, it'd be interesting. I don't know if Jordan Brand would be interested though.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jordan
Shaun was
Brand
the
would be
first
interested.
Jordan football player to sign.
I don't know if they would be interested. And Marcus Freeman, do you think they would get a bump in recruiting if they did go Nike for football? Nike, Jordan Brand.
Nowadays, I don't know. I mean, these kids nowadays, they take
Well,
pictures.
Under Armour is tied in. They have an All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? So Under Armour is tied into high school football.
But you still not wearing no Under Armours.
Say it again.
But you're still not wearing Under Armours, even though they got a game.
You're talking about me personally?
Just you, but like in the aspect of like the
Well, see,
regular person, you
that's
know.
the irony. 80% of the players that play in the Under Armour game won't be rocking Under Armour when they get to
that's
their
what
camp. You know what I'm saying? So
it's not a more appealing lure to it. Just
I think the marketing team from Under Armour has done an incredible job connecting with the brand that is Notre Dame 10 years ago and connecting with the best players in college football. I mean, in high school football. But beyond that, and then adding Steph Curry, to the
I mean,
mix.
the way NIL is now, that these companies should just start sponsoring individual players. You know, sponsor half of the team. That whatever NIL with these your Nike athletes on the team, and we got some Under Armour athletes on the team, and then whatever we do, I think if we went with Nike, they would put our names on the back of the jersey.
You know what would be boss? Since this brand has come alive again, if Notre Dame did a deal with Champion like they had in the past.
They wouldn't make no good jerseys.
The hoodies would be off the chain, though.
Hoodies would be fire. The loungewear?
Yeah, the loungewear and the hoodies would be fire.
Nice.
It'll be fire. The jerseys might be on boo-boo. Jerseys might be on boo-boo.
I'd rather go mesh jerseys, though. Mesh jerseys aren't bad.
Okay.
Like the mesh practice jerseys.
Yeah.
Them is hard. I like those.
I can see that. Just throwing some things out there, fans. We know the apparel deal is coming up. Just seeing how it would impact Notre Dame if they decided to make a decision and go with one of the other brands besides. Now, man, Brian Urlacher's son, Kennedy, bro. Let's check him out.
Kennedy Urlacher.
Kennedy Urlacher, bro. And he picks up a fumble here in this first joint, takes it back 98.
He goes to Chandler, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a safety.
Yes, sir. Well, Brian Urlacher was a safety in high school and college. He became a middle linebacker in the pros. Ooh, that was the hit right there that made me say, okay, he might be just like his dad and end up playing rover linebacker as he
Yeah, because he looked kind
matriculates.
of slow at safety, but he definitely is physical.
Real physical.
Yeah, I don't know why he's not playing linebacker now because he's definitely not fast for safety for sure. But he'd be a fast linebacker. See what I'm
Right.
saying? He might just not be big enough to be in a linebacker position. That's why he plays safety. But he don't have the speed for safety. But he has a physicality for linebacker, obviously. You know.
Yeah, that's why I said he's very similar to his dad. Yeah, he likes to hit without question. He got that, honestly. He's
He
a sure
definitely,
tackle. He's a
yeah,
sure
he
tackler
definitely know
too.
how to open field tackle.
Uh-huh.
He ain't letting that go. Dang, why he not from Chicago, Urlacher?
Well, it was an early dip.
He should have him at Simeon right now, man.
No, he definitely wouldn't play it. No, his mother would not let him go to Simeon. I can guarantee that. Man, that dude loves to hit though.
That's what I'm saying. He's a sure tackler. You always gonna get a job if you can sure tackle.
In space,
Mm-hmm.
like that's one thing. Look, I'm intrigued just by the fact that he can tackle in space because Notre Dame.
That's all I care about. You ain't gotta be fast like that. You know, pass covered, whatever. But you can tackle an open field. I want you. Yeah.
Now, like I said, he's like his dad. A lot of people don't know his dad was at New Mexico. He's pretty much a safety, wasn't really ranked high. And then the Bears got him. They tried him at weak side, and then Michael Singletary got hurt. Not Michael Singletary. Who was the middle linebacker at that point in time?
Briggs.
Barry Mentor. No, it's Barry Mentor. Barry Mentor got hurt, and they put him at middle linebacker, and he never left.
Well,
He
he's
never left.
smart, because he's a safety.
Yeah.
And then I mean, that's a good transition. It's no different than Anthony Davis,
Yeah.
a point guard, whole life.
Yeah.
And then just got 6'10", 6'11". I mean, you didn't lose your point guard skills.
Yeah. He's 6 foot 185. You know. Notre Dame was really attacking the state of Arizona. Benjamin Morrison. They got him.
7-on-7 type players, not Elijah Page, but 7-on-7 type players.
Yeah. 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 So I had actually put in this from earlier. Nathan Lytle asked us our thoughts on Brian Urlacher's son being offered. Hey,
He can tackle. Shit. I mean, that will help us today.
Jason Hewlett, thank you for the super chat. Who wins 93 versus 2012? See, 93 was a better offense. 93 was just a better offense than
I
2012.
mean, if we be real about 2012, it was a lot of lucky things that happened as well, mixed in the fact that we wasn't like steamrolling teams like Alabama
No,
was 2012. We were
no.
like getting by.
Yeah. Another super chat, Diggs for punt returner. I don't know about that. We don't need a burner. Think Zibby. Diggs gets hurt too. I'm not trying to put him in harm's way anymore with his injury history.
He doesn't look like a punt returner,
Yeah,
to be honest.
no. Let him just play running back, and I hope number 25 transfers and blows up. He's just being wasted. I'm just saying, Tommy running him up the middle.
He stayed running him up the middle, though. I don't be getting that. I do not be getting that.
Another one from Jason Hewlett. Estimate just needs to get hard body 235, run low, and get the stamina together, get the second level balance together.
I care about his 4 or 5 yards. You got to think about roles on a team.
Right.
Tyree doesn't have a good enough role for him to be as productive as he can be.
Yeah.
And it's just he needs the ball a lot, you know.
Yeah.
Just like he's a smaller guy. He needs the
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah. Lucky Lefty Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation. You already know we spin it different. Thank you, Danny Cottrell, for tapping in. From our earlier conversation, he says defensive and offensive line need to get bigger if they're going to compete with Alabama and Georgia. Going back to our conversation with Gaines in the offseason, weight training and lifting. Let's see.
Gotta get bigger.
Yeah, Truman Theodore Dumel, our guy. Is there a recruiter player that nobody's really talking about that you've seen that you're saying don't sleep on this kid? He's going to be a legitimate problem. He's a sleeper.
Kent Carr, Jack from Arizona, 6'6" receiver. I grew up with him. I was there when he was growing up. From 5th grade to right now, he's a freaking amazing receiver. 6'6". Kent Carr, Jack. He's gonna be that guy. So I mean, if we was ever in a running for a receiver like this, that's the guy to go to. Nobody's really talking about him much. He's getting some fame here and there, but receiver-wise, that's who I know about.
I would say the kid, I'm trying to find his name. He's a kid from Pennsylvania. He is a Canadian-born defensive tackle, and he's going to IMG this year. He's like 6'4", 300 pounds. And let me tell you something, Left. I'll get you his name right now. Hey, bro. That cat Ryan Roberts sent me his film. It's David Papal. David Papal. Left. Let me tell you something, boy. He's going to be a problem, bro. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. I'm going to show you, like, maybe. Let's get to this other super chat. Jason Hewlett says, can our pants match our helmets again? Talking about the uniforms. Do you like that look, Lev?
I always think it's pretty interesting how we go about our combinations. I think we can get a little nicer with our combinations. If you look at the NBA, they're doing it. I've never seen all these combination colors for the NBA teams.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you can do something different. Dog. Yeah, this is the kid, dude. I saw he's a 3-star right now, bro. He's already 300. Just the way he moves, fam.
Yeah, just go in there and just disrupt stuff.
He would be my underrated guy right now.
And he's finishing tackles. He's running through guys.
This is what you're talking about, Left. You combine him with Justin Scott in the 24 class.
I would like to see him put his hand in the dirt. I mean, he ain't had about 4 plays standing.
He plays tackle on offense.
I ain't giving that tackle no credit. He just know how to move people out the way. But defensively, I'm looking at them highlights.
He's off the edge again, standing up.
So is he a linebacker?
Bro, he's almost 300. What are you talking about?
Like a linebacker end type of thing? Like a stand-up end?
He's 300 pounds, bro.
He don't play like he's interior.
If he's a 300-pound linebacker.
See, he even plays the edge. He even plays tackle. He's not playing guard or nose guard. He's playing edge type of positions. That's why I'm like, because he doesn't drop back in no coverage or nothing, but he's standing up a lot. So I'm assuming that like he's better stand up than he is with his hand in the ground. He's a beast though.
Oh man.
Like, I just love the way he's tackling players. Like, you know, sometimes you can tell how aggressive he is or how he tackles. He's trying to take you down and everything with you. You know what I mean? He just come here. We sacking everything. But these are the type of players that we need, though, you know?
Mm-hmm. Especially up front.
Like, even if you don't win on the line, you ain't getting pushed back.
No. You just saw that right there. Yeah.
Which is still good to me. Even if you're not crushing the dude and you just got him that's still productive. But just don't be getting driven back on something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a big sucker. Just, yeah.
But he has an attitude, bro.
He's
mean.
Recruit attitude.
He's mean. Hand in his ground. Maybe they just play that 3-man front at his high school. It'll be interesting because he's going to IMG. This was his former high school. He's going to IMG this year.
Yeah, he's nice. See, and this is why it's such a misnomer. A lot of people are talking about these student athletes and all that need to be good people. Yeah. No, we don't need good people in recruiting. Footballs, show me a really good guy, and that's a great football player. They don't exist.
Oh, man.
Lawrence Taylor is not a good guy. Greatest football player ever.
Who was the pound-for-pound strongest teammate you had left? Probably somebody off the radar like Doug Randolph or something.
Yeah, man. Doug was a strong dude. I was a country strong. Like some of them dudes, you didn't even know how strong they was. Because whatever they was told to lift, they'll just, right. Tuitt was like that.
Right.
You don't know how strong Tuitt is, but just know he's stronger than you.
Another one, number 9 jumps in the draft like he killed it. Boy, messing around and not get drafted. Who's gassing him? They look like Tyron being a 5th-round pick. Number 9. Number 9 from who? I don't know.
Oh, you talking about Adam Yola?
Oh, you talking about Adam Yola? Dude, Notre Dame defensive players get drafted, bro.
I think he is drafted. I don't think he could have got.
He wasn't going to get that much better.
Yeah, he couldn't have got.
Yeah,
he kind of is what he is, Like Foskey came back to get a record. Yeah. I don't think Foskey got much better.
Yeah,
his 5th year coming back.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like Cam Hart, I'm expecting to be better coming back 5th year. See what I'm saying? Because he needs to be, damn it.
He just needs to be healthy.
Yeah, get healthy.
Just
but
get
I'm excited
healthy.
about Xavier Watts. Man, you got Xavier Watts and you got the transfer from Oklahoma State. Those are 2 physical guys that, on those safety blitzes, it might look different this year.
Yeah.
We might actually hit home. Double safety blitzes from 20 yards away.
Man, you know what time it is.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's pettiest story? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, pettiest story of the day, brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, and Premium American Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. Hey, Tom Brady, relax, bro. Relax. You're on your own podcast with Jim Gray, screaming and hollering because they asking whether or not you coming back. Dude,
Wait, what happened?
calm down. You haven't seen this?
I ain't seen this crazy.
Yeah, they asked him like, man, you think you're gonna come back and play another year? This dude's like, man, you guys are, constantly bad. I'm like, man, relax. It's a question. If you don't know right now, say, man, I really haven't thought about it. I don't know. Man, he went bonkers. Like, dude.
Dang, I gotta watch that.
Need to chill.
I love
Hey,
Tom.
man, let me tell you something. That cat Eli Apple is one of the pettiest dudes in the world.
What'd he do?
You can play it. Go ahead and play it.
No, this was Australia's trying to ban Kanye from coming there.
Oh, that's super petty.
That's petty.
That's super petty. That's super petty. But no. So, DeMar Hamlin was at the game. They got the whole heart thing,
Are you talking about how they
Your boy
made it fake?
No.
Oh,
That too. People talk about that wasn't really
it
DeMar
wasn't really
Hamlin.
him.
Right. So Stephon Diggs, after the game, was tweeting about why he was snapping on Josh Allen and was like, man, how y'all expect me to feel? And so Eli Apple retweeted it and put the DeMar Hamlin heart thing up and said, headed for Cancun. I was like, yo, this cat Eli Apple was petty, bro.
Yeah. Go ahead, go on vacation early, man. I know the NFL players' inside jokes be really funny for real.
Yo, super petty, man. So we got Kanye not going to Australia. We got Tom Brady snapping. And we got that cat Eli Apple on the petty train.
It's a great day.
Man. Great show today. Leaps and bounds in Notre Dame. Hope you enjoyed it. Wednesday. Don't forget, Thursday night, players only. Thursday night, right here at Lucky Lefty, man.
He's squared.
Have a great Tuesday. But most of all, you got to make sure that you spend it different. I'll let you tomorrow.